nice outside, and I couldn't be happier. So let's take a look at what we're doing today, how things are going, and just the yard in general. Since I brought all my friends outside, seedlings, little tomato plants, and all. This has been in the basement or in the living room, just doing its thing. But now we are starting to harden them off since it's nice out. And we got these guys over here. These guys, ugh. These doing things, flowers, veggies. Right here, these 6 back here with actual tags I got from the Midland Farmers Market. They had jalapeno plants, which I did not start jalapeno seeds on my own, so I bought 2 of those, and they're called jalapeno Jedi, which my love for Star Wars, that couldn't be more of a match made in heaven. So I'm assuming they're the most awesomest jalapenos ever, but we'll find out. They also had Anaheim peppers, which were kind of hard to find. So, and their plants look way better than mine, but they do this for a living. So I do this for a hobby. That's the difference. But anyway, and they had a really cool looking pepper that was kind of like a bell pepper called Sweet Lilac, which was a really dark purple. And Dustin's been super interested in making all kinds of like fun Asian stir fries, so any sort of color or different type of pepper would be fun for that. So I hopefully grow it and he figures out how to cook it. So that will work. But again, it's so nice out. I figured before I really get started on changing anything, we'll take a quick walk around so we can see how things are going, and just hi birds, whatever that is, and just see how things are before I change them, and updates from super old videos, because a lot of spaces that I redid in the back in the yard have changed drastically. So I'll update you on those also. So let's take a look. Bloobs, obviously nothing's really changed here, other than I had moved the wine and roses Wajila short little flower plants in between the actual blueberry plants. So there's one here and there and there. They did not do too well where I originally put them, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody had warned me when it came to planting around the roots of that big tree up front, and I should have listened, because it did not work out. But I tried, and I managed to at least save these before they bit the bullet. So they are going to hopefully live out their life here, and they're doing pretty good. There's already some it has dark foliage, so there's already some growth on this one. Sad froggy. Growth on this one, and that one down there, we'll see. That spot gets a lot more sunlight, so I'm hoping that will at least kind of help it out, where the other 2 spots are a little bit more shaded. But the bloobs are looking good. We have lots of greenery and buds. This branch here tends to stick out, so it is right in your face when you come right off of the patio. Let's see if we can focus. Maybe not, but yeah, those are looking good. I'm a weirdo and I talk to my plants and you guys while walking around the yard. I will walk by this one and I always say, "Good morning, bloobs," and I give it a smooch. So whatever. Over here, forsythias are starting to, trying to get used to a selfie stick, starting to get rid of their blooms. They're falling and turning green, so that's happening there. And then the garden, some things are changing also. So let's go take a look at that. All right. Oh, this we're gonna take care of hopefully today. I think the weather will hold up and the rain will hold up, where if I put some seed down or even transplant some other sod, it will kind of be better off with the current temps than before. So I literally have like all of the topsoil over there just waiting to do its thing. So it's just a matter of me doing it. Grass is coming along, the tall grass. This is what are these two? I moved this one over here. It used to be over in between those two tall grasses, but I moved it over just to make room and rearrange this entire bed. But that's another Woodula. Tri-color something, I don't know. It's a couple different color pinks. Super pretty. It's turning green. It'll bloom probably in hopefully a couple of weeks. We'll see some color on it. And then these are my salvia, which I think the little bunnies are getting to them, but whatever. They come back every year. I've moved them a million times. I've split them. I've killed them. They've come back. I could literally throw one against the fence and it would probably just root in where it lands and be fine. I always forget the name of these, but I love them. I'm not going to try. Maybe I'll put it up later. Anyway, they're doing great. Whatever they are, doing awesome. And I might get one, maybe two, maybe two alliums. The rest are just food for the bunnies, I guess. But yeah, that is doing its thing. Another tall grass. These are going to house some pole beans. Raspberry bushes are doing good. Also sending out some shoots. So we got a little baby over here. So I will take that one out and put it in another pot and see what it does. Make the most of my plant. Same with this one. It also has shoots around the side that can literally just be chopped off and rerouted into a different pot. Mystery plant. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it stays and it's getting greener and prettier. This is my guard dog. I call him Rufus. I call him Rufus now. I probably changed his name a million times and forgot, but I found him in an antique store super cheap and I thought it was cute. He was in Gooms' room for a while, but now he stays there. He doesn't really guard much though. He doesn't really scare anything away. Back over here, Vinca's coming in down around the base of the pots. This is where I've just been sticking stuff and hoping it survives. This right now, so these two pots are eventually going to have pole beans in them, but right now it's literally just a I don't know what to do with plant area, and it's doing okay. I found a viola that seemed to just pop up. I did not expect them to survive over the winter, but this one did, and so I just put it back in that pot, and I don't know, I'll move it somewhere else when the rest of them are ready. And then strawberries. A couple strawberries left from a couple years ago when I had grew them from seed. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of plants that I grew from seed, and little by little I'm killing them off, but this is what I have left and I'm happy with it. Crab apples are blooming, a couple blooms. Snail planter that will eventually have something in it. This one's really taken off. So this one actually, this crab apple didn't really bloom as well last year, and this one went nuts. And now this one has pretty good blooms on it, and this one is going crazy. So I don't know, I just trim them, fertilize them, talk to them, decorate them with little kitties. That's about it. They do what they want. I don't spray my trees or anything, although I might start, because I really want to get some more like fruit trees. I want a nectarine tree so bad. But me and Dustin always joke that I have Have the biggest yard with no space, because the majority of the space in our yard is like all front and center to all of our neighbors. And I don't know, I don't want to have just like a big freaking farm like right in the what would technically be the side yard, but kind of like looks like a front yard. So I'm sure I can, I will find a place. I will find a place for a nectarine tree, but it's a matter of me kind of refiguring things. Most likely it'll go back in that garden area, but again, I'll have to rearrange things. My yard is literally different every year. I can't keep anything in one place for too long. Even if it's a matter of like whether it's dying or surviving, I can't just commit to a plant being in one place for too long. I just might move it for the hell of it, even if it does just fine, because I changed my mind in design. So that's just the way things are. Speaking of that, I need to update on what's going on in the front. So let's over there also. Hey, pretty cherry trees blooming. It's a sexy ass cherry tree, ain't it? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, plan for this too is, since we are kind of exposed to the neighbors as they walk by, I'm going to try, maybe not this year, but eventually the plan is to extend this border out a little bit, so that way I can plant something here to kind of block a little bit more of, unfortunately it'll block the view out, but that part of the yard I really don't care to see. The whole plan is for it to really kind of block the view in, so that way when we want to have bonfires we have a little bit of privacy. But yeah, let's walk this way, take a look. I want to scare the shit out of this squirrel too. He's probably digging rocks in the yard. They would pick rocks out of the anywhere really, and then dig them and keep them in the yard like they were nuts. But I don't know what the whole plan is. Okay, this damn space. Every time we have a big storm, I literally look out the window praying this tree, the Lord will just take this damn tree out of my yard, because it kills everything around its base, except for, well, actually what's around there now is doing okay. But the only reason that I think it's doing okay is because I have a couple of them, they're almond plants. I have a couple of them in my yard in places that were like with the ivy. So I figured if this plant can survive being suffocated every year by ivy, it's got to be able to survive in this spot here being suffocated by this nasty ass tree. So the shitty part is, from a distance, like far distance, it looks nice, but when you get up close it's just ugh. I wish it would go, but anyway, nobody has time for that, or money, or patience, or anything. So I went back to digging out some dappled willow bushes that were here and here. They died over the course of about a year and a half. I tried so hard to keep them alive, and I just couldn't. And by the time I pulled them out of that spot, they were gone. So rest in peace, dappled willows. I never got to see your pretty pink blooms, or pretty pink foliage, but another day. So I ended up putting a planter there like the previous homeowners had, because they knew what was up. I didn't. I found out, but they knew. So I reverted back to what their original plan was and just put a planter there and put some flowers in it, some annuals last year. So the almond plants, the three in front, they've been doing good. They are surviving. They were a lot taller when I bought them, but bunnies happened and rabbits happened, because they got to eat. So they have been gnawing down the fresh shoots of those. But as you can see, like, there's new growth coming back. And the almond plant's actually super pretty. It'll just go crazy if you let it. and if it's in a good spot. It has bright green foliage, but in the spring they have these pretty pink flowers. Let's go take a look at one around the way to get a better idea of what it will look like. Okay, here's one. I also popped one here just because this space is ivy space. And there's also this rogue like rose that will not die, and I kind of just let it go and see what it does. And at some point it doesn't do anything, and then I just chop it down and it comes back next year. But I don't know, it lives. It was here before I was, so it stays. Because God knows I'm not digging under under the ivy, under the rock, under whatever the hell is down there to even try to get that out. So that stays for sure. But the almond plant, here's one that is coming back from Bunny. Bunny's eating it. But as you can see, the flowers are super pretty. And then once the flowers fall off, it's bright green. So against what will soon be darker green ivy, it will kind of pop a little bit. And then we have this over here. I forgot what this is, but it's doing good. And I can't think of it, but it'll eventually, of course, it's doing good, but I'll still move it eventually, just because that's what I do. But yeah, it fills that space for now. And this is its 3rd year. So according to, what is it? The 1st year it sleeps, the 2nd year it creeps, and the 3rd year it, what is it? Wiles the fuck out? I don't know. Leaps. The 3rd year it leaps. Anyway, so this is its leap year. No, that sounds weird. Either way, this is the year it's gonna leap. So we'll see how big it actually gets. And then here is a better idea of the almond plant, and the reason why I was like, okay, obviously you can survive and thrive in places where you shouldn't, and it's super pretty. So all these little itty bitty pink blooms, teeny little babies, they will all pop and bloom and be even prettier. And it is gorgeous, but like most things, it's gorgeous for 3 to 5 days and then it's just, back to whatever. Well, in this case, bright green foliage. And there's another one, and oh, sorry birds, my bird feeder. So this is the window that I basically stare out of on days when I'm not actually outside. It's my shut-in window. So when we look out, this is basically what you're kind of seeing. Kind of that view, which I love that view. Hi, kitty. Evie is so confused. Baby girl. Hi, sweet pea. Oh, I know she can't hear me, but I love her. I'll talk to her anyway. Talk if I want to. All right. Bird feeder, not bird feeder, bird bath. A little homemade bird bath. And what are these? Honeysuckles. These are gonna bloom pretty soon. As you can see, the little pink buds. Little pink buds over here. So these are my hummingbird attractors. So once these start blooming, that's when I start seeing hummingbirds. And that's when I put my hummingbird feeders out and all that jazz. So yeah, soon. What is she doing? Kitty. Evie baby. She's such a troublemaker. I love her though. I love her so much, and she hates me. She loves Dustin, and Dustin tolerates her. But she loves Dustin. He's gone golfing right now, so she's probably like missing him and looking around the house, wondering where he's at. And then I come up trying to give her hugs, and she just runs like, not you. She's kitty kitty. Baby girl. Yeah, I bought a selfie stick. I know. What is it, like 2017? Well, I have one now because I'm late to the trend, but it's making my life easier. Walking out here, and then again, this is kind of like I said, we have the biggest yard with no space because we turn the corner and it's like yard for days, but neighbors for days, and it is what it is. Although I do have big plans over here too, because eventually we want to put a tree over here. The tree itself is going to end up hopefully giving us shade, because that window gets so much sun. It gets so much sun, and we have the blackout curtains, and that kind of helps it a little bit. But I want to put a tree there, maybe like a big maple or something, not too close to the house, but big enough that it will cast a little bit of shade. This tree here does give us some shade, but not enough, because the shadow itself that it casts goes to like about here, and then it literally stops like right before our window. So in time, I'm sure it'll help, but I don't know, when it came to pricing out like new windows opposed to a new couple of trees were definitely the cheaper option and the way to go. Because again, we have like all this space, and I just want to fill it with like trees on trees on trees on trees, fruit trees or not. Yeah, because right now it's just desert. The viburnum is blooming. Smells awesome. And the bushes are coming in, all that stuff. Yeah, so that stuff's looking good. This one hasn't bloomed just yet. They still look a little dark pink. They're pretty. Pretty like that. And, yep. I leave cat food out for the outdoor cats. Somebody's got to feed them. Oh, it smells so good. That running water sound is that thing. It's still going strong. Oh, I'm going to make some changes to it. And then I eventually plant something in there too. And things are blooming here. I took a power washer to this and tried to get a bunch of the moss off. I liked the look of the moss for a while, but then it just started looking really, really bad, and I figured, I don't know, let it breathe. So I kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and that's why there's dirt splattered all over the tulips. But we've got, this one only got one. This was like my favorite one. Hopefully, I don't know if the bunnies ate it or not, but hopefully we'll get a few more. One of these days, when I find the right mix or the right price for tulips, I'm going to fill this whole damn thing. Basically to where it will just be tons and tons of tulips and hyacinths, and I will put a bulb everywhere, and there isn't a hosta. As you can see, the hostas are coming up there. So, but yeah, that's good. It's good. It's good. That's kind of where we're at. This thing. This. This. Whoa. Yeah. We're not friends anymore. I have to make some big decisions with this. It is, it's dead. It's just straight up dead in some areas, as you can see. Yeah, like, this is okay. Isn't this okay? Not okay. Not in the slightest. Not okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna trim the hell out of it. I've given it about 1.5 years now, and it is doing better, but we're kind of at the point where what's dead is dead and needs to be removed. We're beyond wishful thinking with that thing. But again, it's one of those where it's like, it was here before I was, so who am I to take it down? Who am I to take it down? Yeah, not in my CRV. Could you imagine? Look at that thing. Look at that beast. Yeah, that's why it's still there, because I'm only one woman with one mom car and Dustin's dad car. None of our vehicles are taking that thing out. So yeah, Rose is growing. I hear a kitty meowing. Is it my kitty? Is it Bruce? Bruce, what are you doing? Hi, handsome. Are you hanging out? Are you getting some fresh air, kind of? Can you say hi? Say hi, I'm Bruce. Hi, I'm Bruce. Oh, kitty. You want to come outside, don't you? Both my cats want nothing more than just to run away. I don't know how I feel about it, but they have this little kind of porch room, so that works. They just want to be outside with their mama. All right. What else can we talk about? What? Bruce loves me. Since Evie took over Dustin, Bruce now loves me. So at least I have love by default. Alright. Bye, Bruce. Over here. Let's talk about this. Do you remember when I had talked about heucheras? I put some heucheras there. There were like 7 of them kind of around the base, and they were super cool looking, like a silvery foliage, and then they would have this like bright red flower. At least they were supposed to, and they did okay for the most part. But like most trees that want to mess up everything around it in this yard, this one does that too. So I've made a decision, and I took the heucheras out, moved them, because I love them and I'll still have them in my yard somewhere. But yeah, this space is going to be just ground cover. My hope for it, because it gets so much pine needles, and it's the dirt is just, it's dirt and rocks. So again, I just need to put something there that will survive. This ajuga ground cover, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, what is this called? Shit, I think that other kind is ajuga. Whatever this is, this I want all over here. The good thing about it is I have plenty of this, and I have been slowly taking snippets of it and putting them in water and rerooting them and replanting them. So I'm building an army of this ground cover currently, and it will eventually cover all of that there. So that way when all the pine needles fall, you won't know, because it will just be mixed in with all the ground cover. I did move some of this. I think this is ajuga. Hell, I don't know. But I moved some of this here just because it's a little bit lower. So I figured in the front, maybe I'll have a little bit of that, because as I pull it out of the yard, because it likes to spread and grow in the grass. The pieces that I pull out of the grass where they shouldn't be, they'll just go here, and then the rest of it, I'll try and put the other ground cover. Also reverted back to the original way the rocks were. The little rocks on the outside border was, it was a pain in the ass, and it was a bad decision. It looked nice for about a week, and then they would just be loose rock in the driveway, or if I tried to wheel anything through there, it would just then move them, and yeah, it didn't really work out too well. So it's reverted back. Here are some of the heucheras. Just put them in there for now. Yeah, around this daylily, because again, they're pretty tough. The other two were in those two planters over there. That was basically, like I said, the I don't know what to do with planters. And then looking around at the back side, that is, I don't know what this is called, but it's Mary's. It's Mary's plant. The neighbor, my mom's friend and neighbor who lived behind her, passed away last year. I think it was last year. And she had, the new person who had bought her home was redoing the yard and had offered if we wanted to take anything from her yard and replant it, repurpose it, otherwise it was all gonna go. And she had a beautiful garden. Like, her entire yard was just garden everywhere. Plants everywhere, and it was awesome. So I took this, and we took a couple of other things, and just trying to give it a new home in memory of her, and it's doing very well. I was hoping it would flower. I think it will flower, but I think it's a spirea. I'm not 100% sure, but I just call it's just Mary's. I just say it's Mary's. And over here, this is my porch, damn it. All the houses we've had, I've always told Dustin, I just need a porch. I just want a porch. Well, this house doesn't have a porch. It has a stoop, and that's kind of nice. But sometimes I just want to sit outside on the porch. So we have this weird kind of double driveway. And so I put that at the end of our little driveway, and that is now my porch. So you can see, like, when you kind of pull into our driveway, there's the main part, there's the side drive is basically what we call it. Side drive / porch is what it is. With all the lily of the valley, which should be blooming pretty soon, there are little buds, little baby buds. And this thing is producing a lot more berries. I can't think of the name of it. I'm not going to stress over it right now, but it is doing a lot better than before, because when I moved in there were no berries, and now there's berries, so that's good, right? Yep. And that's for now ish. This yard, I swear. I have never loved, hated something so strongly in my life. Yeah, it is it's my neighbor. Yeah, I haven't cried yet. So there's a point every season, every year, where I'm just like, I can't do it, because I do a lot of it by myself. Dustin helps Dustin is always willing to help me, but whether or not I'm willing to admit I need help, personal problem. That's a whole other video. But yeah, I take a lot of pride in doing things on my own, and even though he's always there to help me, I did it all by myself. I want to be able to say, like, I did it all by myself. Look at this, I did it all by myself. Well, what you don't hear is I did it all by myself, and then I cried at the end of the day. or I couldn't get out of bed the next day because my body was so sore. That doesn't happen ever. Anyway, such is gardening, right? But I think I'm gonna sit on my porch and hang out for a little bit before I get started. I'll probably pop up the camera and maybe show some, like, action shots of me, like, planting seed for grass, because, you know, that's a wild time. It's excited. Who doesn't want to watch that? So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I won't. We'll see how I feel. But if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Go outside. It's gorgeous out. Yeah, that's all.